Well, good morning, everybody. We are so excited for today's property tour. Thank you for jumping on and sharing an hour of your Saturday with us. My name is Scott Buckholtz. I am your host. We have Yas Hakon, our co-host. It is February 24th. This month is almost gone. It's a great day to have you guys on. We appreciate everybody taking some time out. We love doing these property tours on Saturdays every week. We get to highlight and share an investor from our community, what they're doing, their business, what kind of deals they're doing, it's their story. And it really just to kind of gets to open up a little bit and share with our guests that are on today, what we're doing in our community and how we collaborate and learn together. And we have a great property tour in store for you today. We've got Mike on. He's let's not take any more time up. Mike, can you jump on?
Yes, you mean the camera, correct?
Yes, I can see you.
Hold on, give me a second.
You're fine, Mike.
Okay, awesome. Thank
We
you guys
got
for
you.
having me here.
Well, thanks for coming out, Mike. Thanks for taking time out and sharing and giving back to the community. And like I was saying, we love doing these on Saturday mornings because it's so neat to kind of jump around the country and share different stories and what our investors in our community are doing and things like that. And I know we've had you out before, but it's been a little bit, and it's good to kind of kick things off on these tours, sharing a little bit about your story, kind of like what you've been doing, maybe what your past career was, how you got exposed to real estate investing. What was it about it that excited you to like, hey, this is something I'm going to do? And then the big question or the big thing to kind of share with people is how you found our community and how you got started and everything. So Mike, if you can kind of uh, uh, give us a little bit of your background and get us rolling, that would be awesome.
So my story, right? It's been interesting, and I think everyone has an interesting story as well, depending on where they're coming from. My parents moved to the U.S. a while back, and they're from Mexico. That's how I was born here. And when I was 2 years old, my parents moved back to Mexico because my grandma died, and because they didn't have citizenship, they couldn't come back. So I was stuck in Mexico at 2 years old. So my only choice was be there until I was old enough, 18, 19, whatever years it is that you can fly by yourself. Uh, so yeah, I turned 18, 19, and I decided to come back to the US, learn English, and I knew there was more opportunities here, more money and lending and all that stuff. So I had a lot of fear to move. And I did it anyways, because you got to understand that if you don't push through fears, you'll be stuck in the same place. You can't be comfortable and move anywhere else. So I understood that. So I took I bought a ticket 2 days after the thought, and I moved to the US. Didn't know English, nothing, everything. I never seen a high building or anything like that. Never used credit cards. Everything has been cash. Um, so I moved here, went to school and everything, and I thought I was gonna make a lot of money because you hear you're gonna make dollars, you're gonna make a ton of money in the US. And then you understand that you earn dollars, but you spend dollars. So I got a part-time job. I'm excited about the dollars. I'm like, oh my gosh, if I do it in pesos, I can buy all these things. And the part-time job didn't cut it. So I turned into a full-time job. That was McDonald's. Couldn't make it. Then I got two full-time jobs at the airport in Salt Lake City, Utah. And I was still not able to afford a place for myself, a nice car. And I was like, how can people have a wife, kids, expenses in a house, and have two full-time jobs and you can't still make it? You have to all work at that point. Have your kids work. So yeah, I was to the point where I was gonna get sick because I was working so much and I was only sleeping like 4 or 5 hours. And the doctor told me if you don't fix your lifestyle, you're gonna get diabetes. I was like, but I'm not fat. How am I gonna get diabetes? He's like, it's because of your lifestyle, the way you're living, and you're not eating well, and etc. So fast forward, so I became a car salesman. I kept getting better jobs and better jobs. I'm like, well, if I get into sales, I'm gonna make it. Car sales, I became the top car salesman in the whole dealership, and nobody have sold the many cars as I sold in the dealership before. I made good money, but I was working like 70 hours a week. I was only off on Sundays because Utah, everything is closed on Sunday. Otherwise, I'm sure they will have me work there all the time. So I was good, making okay money, but I didn't have any time. I'm like, what if I die in 5 years and I'm just doing this the whole time, saving money, and then I just don't use it? So then one of my friends quit the dealership and went to work. No, he quit the dealership, and I called him. Hey, what do you do? Where are you going? Another dealership? He got excited, and he's like, no, brother, it is this community that I met, and you should come check it out. With the way you work, I'm sure you're gonna kill it in this business. So I was skeptical. I was like, okay, let's go and see it. And I went to a house tour, something like this, but in real life and in person. And I saw this guy that didn't speak English, had IT number, didn't have money or credit, doing flips on homes, multiple, and making like 50, 60 grand per flip. And I'm like, you're telling me you're making 2 or 3 times the amount of money I'm making, working 70 hours a week, and you have people, you're leveraging people's time with somebody else's money, and you're free to keep getting more properties. So my mind blew up, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And I understood that all you needed was knowledge and relationships. That's what I saw in that person. If you have the knowledge and you have the connections, you put them together, you don't need money and credit. And I was already before looking to open a business and invest, but I never could figure out what to do. I was like, what do I do? I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't have the money to open a business, and I'll most likely fail. So I saw this business model and it attracted me, and I joined the community, and it's changed my life forever. Like, I haven't gone back to a job since I got laid off from being a loan officer for mortgages. I did loans for mortgages. Trust me, you don't learn real estate investing as a real estate agent or as a mortgage lender. I didn't learn that, and they laid us off because the rates were going up, and my back was against the wall. I had all this debt. So with the knowledge of real estate, I was able to be full-time investor, and now I have 8 Airbnbs, short-term rentals, and I have this property that I'm going to show you guys, and I've done flips in Mexico and just a bunch of things. You just learn all kinds of strategies that help you, and you pick what you want to do: massive income or passive income.
That's amazing, Mike. What a great story. What a great a journey you've been on. And we appreciate you sharing that. You mentioned that you've met somebody, or actually someone that you co-work with, found the community, and you came out to a property tour like this, but in person. Okay, which we have property tours going all around the country, but this one we like to do on Zoom. That way everybody can tie in and feed in from across the country. And so you were at this property tour and you saw what other people were doing. And um, what was it, or how did you figure out about the whole relationship and the knowledge part? What was it that really, in the community, that really put that together for you, that how important relationships and knowledge were?
So being around the community, because we have events all the time. You have networking events and real estate events. Seeing that you only have two options. There is only two, nothing else. You will learn somehow. You learn through your own mistakes. But in real estate, do the math. It is expensive mistakes if you do that. Try to just figure it out by yourself, and you're gonna go very slow. And I've seen that on a lot of friends of mine. And then I saw these guys that they were partnering, networking, sharing ideas, and learning together. And you learn from the mistakes of others, so you don't commit the same mistake, right? Because you already know it. Why would you want to go through the pain and the problem and the loss to learn a simple thing that you can just ask about of someone that's going through it? So I saw a lot of value in that. I don't like losing money at all. I don't think nobody likes it unless you just go to Vegas and gamble, I guess. So yeah, no, and seeing all of that, I'm like, you're not alone in this business. You have people with you that can support you. And that was a big thing that got me into it as well.
Awesome. Awesome. So you mentioned that you have several short-term rentals, you've done flips. You've got a deal today that you're sharing with us. That's a very interesting deal that I think a lot of people are going to be excited to hear about it. And so talk a little bit about the strategy that you're going to share with today. How did you learn about this, Mike?
In the community also. So, you hear about real estate hacking, right? And we have this investor. Her name is Leda. We did a few house tours at her property. She's been doing all kinds of deals, but she also does this type of investing. It's all new builds, new construction. I saw it from her 3 different property tours, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can do this too. So I started doing research, studying, and then I was able to get into this one through partners in the community as well. So that's how I knew about this one.
Awesome. And you said you saw someone else in the community doing that, and you obviously collaborated with her using our education that's available and the trainings that are available. And so, is this your first new construction house hack?
Yes, it is my first one, and it is simple if you know what you're doing. It's a slower. It's like if you are trying to get food, right? You have your vegetables over here, you plant the seed, and it's growing, and then you go
Mhm.
fish or hunt. Hunt is a faster one. This is like planting the seed for your harvest in the future, and then you're doing your active versus investing. It is slower, but it's awesome. You guys are gonna see this how it works.
Well, awesome. So, talk a little bit about, if you could, Mike, obviously had a work ethic already, working 70 hours a week. You said you started, part-time, then full-time, then 2 full-time jobs. And so you were already, your mindset was already about, having a great work ethic and getting ahead in life. And, what is being a part of this community and doing real estate, what has that done for you as far as your time and ability to do different things in life, like travel and things?
So one of the biggest thing is I always worked so hard for other people, and I was still motivated and I had the energy. But think about this, you're doing it for someone else. It's not the same. But when I did it for myself, when it's my own business, that motivation and energy, when you just want to work hard, it's even better and you feel way better. The adrenaline kicks in. You're happier because you're building your own thing, not the dreams of someone else. So they give me the opportunity with the knowledge and the right vehicle to put all my hard work, and it's even harder to go to higher levels. And now I'm traveling everywhere. I've been to Thailand, Vietnam. I go to Mexico several times. We're going to Colombia in about probably in April, mid-April. We have all these trips planned out. Now, thanks to real estate, I have the cash flow to have the time to enjoy life. And enjoy life can be different things for many people. Maybe you just like to be in your house watching TV with your kids and the dog, right? But if you only spend 2 hours right now because you're working, how about you can spend the whole 24 hours doing the same thing or traveling? You like to travel, you're doing charity. The choices and the freedom is very important. Now, if I want to get a job that it's something that I love doing, even though you don't pay me, I don't care. Let's say I'm going to go and feed the lions at the zoo, right? Because I love doing that. They tell me I pay $6 an hour. Okay, I don't care. I'll go and feed the lion, right? You want that flexibility to do what you want whenever you want it.
Yeah, you might pick a little bit less hazardous work there besides feeding the lions, but
I know. I just throw
uh,
it in there and just see them go crazy.
oh my gosh. Well, yeah, you mentioned, traveling to Thailand and different places and being able to have that, freedom and choice of what you do and still have income coming in while you're doing that. Isn't that awesome to be able to travel and do different things and still have income coming in while you're doing other things?
It feels you wake up and you don't, because we've been doing the whole programming for so many years that it still doesn't kick in sometimes. You're like, am I really living this way? Am I really having money just come in like that? Is it it's illegal? You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh. So let's jump into this deal a little bit. Let's talk about this. You kind of already set the stage up a little bit, kind of how you got into this strategy. You've already done other real estate investing strategies, and sounds like to me you're going to continue to doing different real estate investing strategies. So talk a little bit about, like, how did you choose this place to do this new construction house hack? Was it something in a community where someone's already doing it, or let's talk a little bit about that of kind of like why there, why in this location?
Because you gotta, before I make a decision on investing, I look into, do you want to have passive income or massive income? My choice in this one is passive income, but it will generate some kind of massive down the road. So it's more long term. So what I did, I looked through the map, right? And then I do research on where the construction is going, where the growth in the state, the county is going, and you buy there. You buy there. So because over time, let's say 5, 10 years, which is I'm gonna keep this for a while, at that point, the demand is still very high and the supply is very low. Because that's the case and it still grows, the value of that property will grow over time as well. So it's like having a savings account on steroids. That's why, just where the growth is going and what's coming. I also researched that there is this giant commercial like mall with entertainment coming in the area, and then they're building what is called a Utah City. That's what it's been on the talks. It's going to be right on the lake, and it's going to be luxury, and that is not very far away from our place. So that attracts a lot of, even outside of the state, people that have money to move to Utah, to this area, and they usually pay more for properties. And there's bidding wars, and when the rates drop, which they will drop, that will even push the equity higher.
Could you explain, Mike? And I just now saw this. We're going to talk about a strategy of house hacking. Can you explain a little bit to everybody what that is?
That is when you get a property, you move in it, live in it, and you can rent rooms or rent the basement, but you're living in the property as your primary residence. And you're gonna know why. You're gonna understand why I do the living in it and then having tenants. There is a banking strategy there that will help you with how much money you need to put down. But that is house hacking. You move in it, you rent it. After a year, you move out and you go to another property, do the same, and then another one and another one until you max out.
That's awesome. So let's go ahead. Let's see, what else did we catch here? How do you determine where the growth is going? I mean, someone's asking that question. Obviously, knowing the community, knowing the market that you're in, obviously looking at different sources of media and leveraging those sources. Like you mentioned, there's a big commercial site coming in with entertainment and things like that. And obviously, you see where there's a lot of growth of new subdivisions and people are moving into that area. Helps determine that that's going to be someplace good that is going to work for what I'm doing. Because if you're going to continue to do this, meaning or explaining that you moved in, you house hack, you rent the spot, and then you do it again, you're going to ultimately have that whole property to rent out or to sell if the value of that property goes up quite a bit. And so I'm sure you're going to talk a little bit about that. So let's kind of get into that. I know you're in the new construction stage, so you've got some pictures to show us. So I want you to share your screen if you could with everybody. And so, like this particular deal, are you doing this deal on your own, or are you partnering with somebody with the community? Don't no names or anything need to be mentioned. Just, are you doing it on your own, or are you actually doing it with other people?
I'm doing with other people. And for people that are watching
Awesome.
this, understand if you do things with other people, you're gonna move faster. So that's a thing that you gotta work on if you're not comfortable with teams and partners.
So you're doing this with other people. Are you going to personally be living in that house, or somebody else in the community?
It's gonna be me living in it.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, if you want to, let's go ahead and pull up some pictures for everybody and kind of see what you're doing there. And then we'll get to some numbers and share that with people.
Okay, let's see. Green. All right, perfect. Do you guys see it?
It's working on it. There you go. If you could make your screen larger, that'd be great. Perfect.
Okay. So I'm gonna show you a few pictures, right? This is like the outside, almost the completion of the outside. That's me hanging out with my contractor, and that's a contractor from the community. So I don't even need to go outside of that. He's going to help me finish the basement, because when you buy new construction, usually I haven't seen one that they finish the basement for you yet. I'm sure they have somewhere. This one, it's a 3-bedroom, 2 bath. That's how they give it to you. No, 3-bedroom. Oh, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. And the basement is not finished, right? I love high ceilings. I hate feeling trapped, right? Especially when I'm hustling in business. I like to like have birds around, I want to get a bird, go all over. That's what I told my partners. I'm just kidding. This is one of the rooms, right? They're finishing it. It's almost done. The most recent pictures that they haven't sent me yet. They have carpet now and all of that. One of the bathrooms, that's a shared bathroom. That's the master. Yeah, that's the master. On the right side, there is the bathroom. Another bathroom. That is the closet of the master. It's pretty big. And this is almost done, right? As you can see, they're covering the floor so they don't get scratched. They put the railing on it now. It's painted. That is before the railing. And let me see, where's the rest of it? Okay, yeah, there's a hallway. This is now the kitchen. They put the cabinets in there. They're having this green color. And then that's another picture from before. It's just mixed, right? You're gonna have mixed pictures between old and new.
Mm-hmm.
That is looking at it from the second story floor. That is the outside when they're building it with all the snow that's going on. So they can still continue with the construction. That is what it's looking like now. They have removed this frames.
Scaffolding, yes.
Yes. There we go. Bathroom now with the toilet and the cabinet. There you go. Yeah, there you go. So I've been through the whole process. They usually send you, and I didn't do the count, I think weekly or every week and a half or 2 weeks, they send you an email with updates on your property with pictures. Hey, Mike, this is the update. This is what your property is looking like right now. And they keep updating you with new pictures and newer pictures. And then when the closing date is. So their communication with Edge Homes is awesome. I love these guys.
So
then the video here.
Is this like a townhome?
It is a townhome, yeah. This is when
Okay.
I first saw it, just like that. It's a townhouse, and I like townhouses because I hate grass outside that I have to cut because I want to focus on other stuff. So I'd rather the HOA take care of it and a little bit of it. I don't like yards or anything like that. Of course, millennials, I guess. And then, yeah, more videos here. That was with my contractor and I.
So, Mike, talk a little bit about how you kind of use the community and the education to kind of put this deal together.
Yeah, so what I did, and this is the structure of the deal. I found this property because I liked it and had the possibility of having 5 bedrooms. The basement, you can add an extra 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. So it's going to be a total of 5 bedrooms, 3 bath and a half. The garage is large enough, like we can have 4 cars, and the street parking is awesome. And I sold the parking situation because I'm going to have tenants. And if I'm going to have about 4 people and myself in the place, there's going to be many cars, the 4. So you want to make sure you're thinking as of an apartment complex, right? You got to make sure there's parking. So 5 bedrooms, and then we are renting out. If you can see, can you see the screen still?
Just a white screen.
Okay,
just
so
a whiteboard.
We're going to be charging $650 per room times 4. That's going to be 650 times 4. That's 2,600. Our mortgage, with everything, tax, insurance, all of it, that's going to be, they're calculating about $3,150. So, and then if you add my own rent on there, that's about 3,250 coming in, and only this is coming out. So there is $100 cash flow positive. So we have a little bit of cash flow, but I don't care how much cash flow at this point because my strategy is long term. This will change with the rates and all that. So 100 cash flow, and that's coming in right now. The place that I'm in, I'm paying 750. So because I'm doing this, my payment drops to 650, which it's saving me money, but still producing cash flow, paying the property. Somebody else is paying for it, the majority of it. And yeah, it includes the HOA fee, which has internet already in it. We're gonna be splitting the utility bill between the people that live in the place. So it's gonna be even cheaper, cash flow wise. But I just gotta make sure I find good tenants, people that are not going crazy with parties or drugs or anything like that, which we're having good luck with that. In the basement, we're adding a kitchenette. So they don't have a small kitchen, so they don't have to be upstairs. They can just come in the garage. The door for the basement is right when you get in, so you won't even feel those people. They're down there with their kitchenette, everything they need. They're parking in the back, and I'm just up there with 2 more people that I pick. Do you guys have any questions?
So how did you acquire the contract or the property? And can you explain a little bit about that? We had someone just ask
So-
that question.
I looked through all the new builds and builders, right? And I was looking specifically for a property where I didn't have a yard, obviously a townhouse, a property that I could build. I can have max 5 bedrooms in it, not 4, not 6, because when you have 4, obviously your payment will be higher. You have less tenants. But when you have more than 5, when you have 6, 7 people want to build like 7-bedroom house or 8. That's a lot of people. Also, you're gonna have problems with finding tenants trying to stay in a place with 6, 7 other people. So 5 is a sweet spot. That's how I picked that one. We send the offer with I have an agent friend of mine. We send the offer, got under contract. We paid like $9,000 less for what they were asking, and they offer a 3% incentive for buying with them because right now the market is slow, so you have more leverage with sellers, which is the builder. They give me that 3%, which we are using to buy down the rate. That's how we're getting the payment to 331.50 because we're buying down the rate with all that money, and the payment is low and it's still cash flows, and we can be there. So we got on the contract, they accepted it, and then now we just go through the process. But make sure you get pre-qualified. When I do loans, I hate it when people want to go look at houses without even looking to see if they can even qualify for a loan. You're gonna be shocked that you can't, or that you can qualify for only a certain amount, and you're looking for one that's $100,000 more, and you just wasted your time. So yeah, I get pre-approved. I talked to my partners. I was like, you know what? I don't have kids. I'm not picky, right? I can just move into a place, live with other people. Let's partner. Let's all apply for a loan. We all did it. And then they're putting all the money. One of them, they're putting all the money. I put zero out of my pocket. I cannot qualify for a loan because I have a business that is new, and usually they're more picky about that. So they are the credit, they are the money. I am the knowledge and the management. You gotta get the formula. We're gonna do a contract, either a joint venture or an LLC, where we're gonna put the deed of the property to the LLC, or just do a joint venture and put it on title. And any money that they spend on this deal, like the down payment, the construction, and all of it, they're not gonna lose that money. On the contract, we'll say that let's say $50,000 belongs to them. So when we sell in the future, let's say we bought it for 450, for example, we sell for 650. There is a profit of $100,000. First, they gotta get paid their money that they put in at the beginning, and then the rest gets split between us equally when it comes to equity. But we're also splitting equally the tax advantage. We're going to split equally appreciation, depreciation, all the benefits will be split equally, and their money doesn't get lost. It's just like, instead of having it in the savings account that pays you 0.002, and the bank is just using your money to make interest, put your money into a house where you have all these 4 benefits of real estate, which is taxes, depreciation, appreciation. and they're still keeping their money. We're all winning at the same time, and we're gonna do it again. You have to be in the house for a minimum of a year. We did a loan, what is it called? Owner occupied conventional loan. When it's owner occupied, they only ask you for 5% down. That's it. 5% down. It came out to like $20,000 our down payment. $20,000 down, and then the construction will be like $35,000 for the basement to be finished. Because I am living there. One of the applicants is living there, the owner. Then live there for a year. Then you can move out and do another one. But if you go straight to an investment property, which is you don't occupy the property, you have to put down 20%, sometimes 30% down, and your interest rate is way higher than when you're owner occupied. So the terms are not very well. So yeah, live in it, but don't lie to the banks. People trying to do mortgage fraud and crazy things like that. Don't lie to banks. If you're the owner and you say you're gonna live there, live there. And that's what we're doing.
So your partner that is using their credit and their funding, are they actually living there as well? Do they need to live there?
No, they don't have to live there because I'm one of the owners. So I'm living there.
All right. So it's not just them on the contract, you're also on the contract as well.
Yes. The danger will be if I'm not on the contract.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And so what's your plan? Obviously, you're pretty much breaking even, considering you're kind of, looking at what your rent would be, because if you were living somewhere else, you'd still have that money going out. So you're not making a bunch of money every month on this thing. If anything, you're breaking even, or you're paying a little bit out a month for your living conditions or your living situation. So what is ultimately your goal as far as, are you looking at doing this for just the year, or do you reevaluate when you get to the year? Or do you live there for more than that before you move to the next one?
We'll reevaluate, but I'll do it anyways. I'll just move to another one, and I'll just find a tenant to replace me, and I'm gonna have a master lease, and then that person will be in charge of the other people. And then we learn about systems to like charge rent, do background check, credit check, contracts, and all that stuff. Because you want to be smart. There's tenants that know these rules, and there's criminals that they know how to move into your place, and they just want to live for free, and they squat, and then now you have to sue. So yeah, we're gonna live there for a year, and then I'm gonna do another one. And if I can do it before, if I can find a way to do it before, we'll do it even before that. And then, as you said, the cash flow, we're breaking even. I don't care about that because there's more benefits. People don't know this about real estate. That's why maybe some people are not very interested in real estate for some reason. You have cash flow, you have appreciation, depreciation, and you have principal pay down. That's the benefits of real estate. In the stock market and all the other investments, you don't have the four. You don't. That's why I do not get on this other investments. So cash flow, we're gonna have $100. It's not much. I don't care. Appreciation, houses still appreciate, especially in Utah. And if it's a little bit, it still appreciates more than the return you get in your bank. But once the Feds drop the rates, which gotta happen, that appreciation, because people will go crazy about buying houses again, people will start overbidding and buying properties around for more than what they're asking, because there's not many houses yet. So the appreciation will increase as soon as that happens, even more. And then my partners are employees, right? They're gonna get a bigger tax return because they own a house and they can depreciate the property. It's a tax write-off, a tax benefit. And if we do cost segregation, which is another way to depreciate it faster, the check gets even bigger for taxes and helps my taxes. And then principal pay down, all my tenants are paying for it. So we will owe less and the value will keep going up. So the gap is the equity of the property. That equity will increase. And then the equity, when it increases, I can then pull out that money and buy multiple more properties with this same house on seller finance, which is another strategy. I don't have to go through the bank. You don't have to go through the bank. I can use the equity, depending on how much we have, If I have $60,000 in equity, I can probably get about 2 or 3 houses with that. So now I have 4 houses in, let's say, in a year span of 4 years, which the average American maybe own 1 house, but the majority, they're renting. What is the difference? Education. Education. Knowing what's possible and taking action. Questions?
Looking at here, so question, how you finance, what was the down payment? I think you've already covered that. You used your partner for the financing, for the credit, and they also did the down payment. And the way you're structuring the contract or the deal between your partner is that the equity in the property, they own the larger percentage because they get to get, if the property is sold, they get to get that down payment back. So have you done this before, or have you rented out per room before? And is it harder to find individual tenants who will be sharing the shared spaces?
No, well, because of, first of all, seeing other people in the community do it, that helps you have more faith and more confidence. But also, I have experience now with short-term rentals, Airbnb, which we got to 10, and we have so many people renting in and out all the time. And when you learn Airbnb management, you are like a property manager on steroids, right? So thanks to that experience, now for me, it's the simplest deal to find someone long-term for 1 room. And especially with the contract we're using and the way we find them in the systems, it makes it easier. But knowledge increases and your risk and your fear decreases and your confidence is up. That is the key.
Yes, it is. Good time to remind everybody that's on today. If you are a guest on today and you want to learn more about our community and about the education and a lot of things that Mike has been talking about, right after today's property tour, it's out on a different link. So you'll need to reach out to who invited you out tonight, and they'll get you connected and get you that link. And it's an overview of our community, and it's more about a lot, like expanding on a lot of things that Mike's been able to talk about today. And you'll really enjoy that, and it'll really help answer a lot of additional questions for you. But again, get back to who invited you. You can send them a text right now if you'd like, and they can get you that link. What about contractors? How did you pick your, I mean, is it hard to find a contractor? I mean, obviously I do the same thing. I build as well. And so I'm constantly working with contractors. Did the contractor come from the community, you said? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, I'd rather reduce that. I ask a person in the community that has been doing a lot of flips for many years who they use for their flips. So he referred me to this guy. He's like, this guy is amazing, and he does everything on time, responsible, and I give him a call. I got 2 different bids, but I trusted this guy more because this guy has been working with this investor for many years, and he's part of the community. He knows, besides construction, he knows my vision. He knows what I want because he knows investing, and that is very important. So I picked him, and we did the bid, and yeah, he's gonna do the basement, and that helps me reduce risk because he's been working with the other guy for many years. Otherwise, it wouldn't be recommended.
Now, how far do you actually live from this property at this point?
Right now, I'm only 14 minutes away from
Okay,
that
so
property.
you're really close. You're really close.
Yeah, we're closing on the 6th of this month. March 6th, that's the closing date.
Awesome. So you're getting really close to wrapping this up.
Oh yeah, pretty close. And part of the partners too, the money they're putting in is the furniture. We're furnishing the common area besides the construction and besides the down payment. So we're going to be buying a lot of furniture for that here soon. And we have the experience with short-term rentals because we furnish all of them and decorate them. And my partner, she's awesome at decorating. I leave her everything. I'm like, just go and do it. Yeah, I trust your skills. And yeah, she's doing that.
Well, that's awesome, Mike. Yeah, you know, you hear the word house hacking used quite a bit. But you don't see a lot of people doing it on new construction. A lot of people, they realize, hey, I got this extra rooms, or I got this basement, you know, that I'm not really using. We don't through the day, we don't actually ever go down there, or we don't use these extra rooms, so I'm going to rent those out. And obviously being able to have income in to help, you know, do the buy down of the principal, like you said, is a great strategy. But doing new construction, house hacking, and being able to, like, for instance, you know, while you're building the house, I'm sure you're already looking for your tenants. Is that correct?
Yes, we listed it on Facebook Marketplace. I love Facebook Marketplace because I can see their faces. Everything else, all you see is a phone number and email, and you're gonna be plunging through a lot of people. In Facebook Marketplace, you kind of see their personality and if it's a good fit or not. That's like a background check kind of. um, and another thing about new construction, when you have it under contract, the property they're still selling. So let's say you get under contract now and it's done in 6 months. There can be appreciation because you're locking in the price and one price. By the time you close, that property can be worth even more. So your down payment gets smaller at that point. That's another thing. And I don't have to touch anything. It's brand new. Brand new. I don't have to worry about it. That's another thing to think about new construction.
Absolutely. So Mike, kind of, you know, we're getting close to the top of the hour. We got a few minutes left here, kind of in summary and things, trying to, you know, kind of wrap everything up today. You know, how would you like to leave everybody today? What kind of advice or what kind of things would you like to mention to those folks that are on today? Maybe you're trying to think about, you know, getting started in real estate investing, or possibly they're already doing some real estate investing, but they want to take their game to the next level, and you know, they want to really scale their business. Well, how would you like to leave everybody today, with some final remarks for everybody?
So you got to ask yourself, how bad do you want it? Like, do you really want financial freedom? Do you want all these things in life? Set goals for yourself, big goals, because we have taught to think small, usually, unfortunately. Um, do big goals and see if you really want it. If you really want it, the vehicle to get there, analyze all the vehicles you're doing. Is your job gonna get you there? Is your crypto gonna get you there? Is look at real estate and look at all the benefits, not just this event. Come to as many events as possible, have meetings with the person that invited you, ask all the questions, dig deeper until you see how powerful real estate is. You can give it all in. This is the vehicle. Do the research, get involved in the community big time, because alone you're not going to make it this far. You can do real estate by yourself with unloading a lot, but it's going to be very, very slow. How fast do you want it to? Me, I want to retire like pretty soon. I don't want to wait until 50 years old, 60, when I'm sleeping on a cruise, you know, or I can't climb anything anymore, or I have kids and stuff like that. So how fast do you want it? Pick the strategy, learn the strategy, and partner and work with people. I can't hear you. You're muted.
Can you hear me now, Mike?
Yeah.
Is that yes?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
great. Yeah, I got stuck on mute somehow. Here's a great question here. You talked about knowledge. What are some of the resources to expand the knowledge, you know, that you've recommended? I mean, is it books, documentaries, workshops, courses? You know, how would you like to, you know, talk about that?
I would do I don't like reading because I have ADHD or whatever people call it. I like to listen and see things. So courses,
Mhm.
but especially courses from people that are doing what they're teaching you. Don't fall in the same trap as college that you have a business teacher and that guy has never owned a business. That doesn't work. Find courses where the guy that's teaching you is a savage in their strategy and it's doing it, lives doing that strategy. You learn it through the courses, don't make the mistakes, and then go and apply. That's what has helped me a lot. Courses.
So someone asked about how can we find some groups? Well, you're in a group right now. Whoever invited you, get back with them and they can actually share more type of meetings and things that you can actually attend in our community. So, Mike, so which do you see you continuing? And I believe so. You're going to continue to do this strategy and just basically like a domino effect. You're going to continue to do it while you do other strategies. You talked about short-term rentals, and uh, you're able to do both those at the same time and still have the freedom and time to travel, right? Got any other big trips coming up besides Thailand that you just did this year?
Colombia, that's happening. And if you, and I don't know if you guys want, right? If you can follow, if you go to my Facebook or Instagram, Mike Villa, you can see my trips and I post a lot about business, real estate, and trips, lifestyle. We're going to Colombia. Colombia, with people in our community. He's one of our big lenders. He gives you cash to buy properties. He bought a house in Colombia, amazing place, and we're flying there to hang out and have fun.
So yeah, we do. Someone just asked a great question here about maybe some different meetings and things like that. Again, get back with who invited you. We have workshops on a regular basis. We have Zoom type trainings that you can get on. We have live, if you're in a big market, a lot of times there's live property tours. You can go and network and meet people there at those type of things, but we do have a lot of different works, and obviously we have a lot of classes and things like that that are available to you that you can learn about how you get signed up and do those. So again, great questions, Mike. Again, we're going to wrap up here because we are at the top of the hour. Any final remarks, about someone kind of sitting on the fence, kind of like, do I get a part of this community? Do I get started? How would you like to leave people with that?
So I would treat the person that invited you as your forever person. Just stick with that person and come to every single event. We have hundreds. You can live in events if you want to. So yeah, just stick with that person, keep coming to events and put in the work and believe in yourself. A lot of people give up in doing what they're doing because they don't believe they can do it. It makes sense. You're alone. You're not seeing people doing things. So you're killing your dreams. So be around people that have higher mentalities and that are doing higher things. So your belief is higher and your energy is higher. And you can keep pushing. Don't give up.
Well, Mike, I really appreciate your time coming out today, sharing everything, and everybody that's on today. We appreciate you guys. We will be back next Saturday as well, and we'd love to see you back out. For now, Mike, we're going to wrap up. I hope everybody has a great weekend, and we'll talk to everybody soon. Look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.
Thanks, Mike.